A surge of reactions flooded in from around the globe after Russian President Vladimir Putin's recent nuclear doctrine update, lowering Moscow's threshold for deploying nuclear weapons. The shift has sent ripples through NATO and its member states, exposing deep divides in how to address Russia's escalating threats. At the G20 summit in Brazil, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer wasted no time condemning Russia's actions, calling on Putin to get out of Ukraine and warning of the dangerous rhetoric coming from Moscow.
We will work with partners across the G20, but one nation stands apart. For the third year running, Putin did not attend this summit. He is the author of his own exile. And on day 1,000 of Russia's illegal war in Ukraine, I say again, end the war, get out of Ukraine. There's irresponsible rhetoric coming from Russia, and that is not going to deter our support for Ukraine. We're now on day 1,000 of that conflict. That's 1,000 days of Russian aggression, 1,000 days of sacrifice in Ukraine. We have stood with Ukraine from the start, and I've been doubling down in my clear message that we need to ensure that Ukraine has what is needed for as long as is needed to win this war against Putin.
Starmer's remarks underscored a growing frustration in the West, particularly with the Kremlin's decision to formalize its readiness to use nuclear weapons if provoked by Ukrainian use of Western-supplied missiles. French President Emmanuel Macron also stepped into the fray, urging Putin to back down from his nuclear threats and warning that Russia's actions were pushing it further into the realm of global destabilization. "Be reasonable," Macron said, a sentiment that was echoed by Germany's Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock, who vowed not to be intimidated by Russia's renewed nuclear posturing.
Russian President Vladimir Putin is playing with our fear. He didn't just start doing this 1,000 days ago, he started back in 2014. And Germany in particular made the mistake back then, especially politically, of allowing itself to be intimidated by this fear, and above all, not listening to its partners, especially our Eastern European partners, who made it clear at the time. We must not rely on promises from the Kremlin. We must invest in our own security and protection.
But not all NATO allies are in lockstep. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan offered a rare voice of support for Moscow, claiming that Russia has every right to defend itself.
Certainly, I think that this statement by Russia is, above all, a measure taken in response to the stance taken against it concerning the use of conventional weapons. I think that this issue must be considered by NATO officials. Russia has the right and ability to protect itself and to take measures for its defense, and it was compelled to take these measures. Much like we, NATO countries, must protect ourselves and take steps to do so.
Erdogan's statement, made on the sidelines of the summit, positioned Russia's actions as a necessary response to NATO's perceived provocations. Russia has the right and ability to protect itself, he said, a stark contrast to the more hawkish stance from his European counterparts. While NATO members continue to clash over how best to respond to Russia's nuclear doctrine, the EU has taken a firmer stance. A joint declaration issued by foreign ministers from Poland, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and the UK condemned Russia's ongoing war in Ukraine, stressing that Moscow's revision of its nuclear policy presented an unprecedented challenge to European security. The ministers vowed to stand united, pledging to bolster defense and security measures, including increasing military spending and reinforcing NATO's strategic importance. The latest developments are a reminder of the intensifying stakes in the Russia-Ukraine war. With Moscow relying more heavily on non-Western allies like Iran and North Korea, the European response remains a mixture of unity and discord, as each nation grapples with the balance of power and its role in the unfolding geopolitical drama.